A long time ago, there was only 1 in 10,000 kids born with the disorder, and so professionals and parents didn't really have very many kids to practice on, and they didn't know what to do. They pretty much just made up whatever they could think of. Nowadays, autism is up to 1 in every 150 kids. It's an epidemic. Well, basically, the only thing that parents and professionals had to help children change their brain structure and how they operated was restraining belts and straitjackets. Before that, they just slapped them. See, they had a thing called aversion. I'm not kidding. It was called aversion therapy. I think that's so funny. The minute you name something a therapy, it sounds like a good idea to a bunch of professionals who are willing to do it. They're all taught to slap, pinch, and scream, stop! Screaming stop is about the only thing the kids learned. And I'm not even saying they're bad. Understand that. I am not saying they're bad. It was all they knew to do. It was all the tools they had in their toolbox. Eventually, these stern, controlling styles evolved into, a brighter behavioral approach. It's called ABA. It's only a little bit brighter, but it is popular still today, especially here in Southern California. The thing is, one of the problems with it is that a lot of the teachers were taught to train the kids using actual dog training tricks from an actual dog training manual. Eventually, I located this most beautiful and special thing. I saw this movie. It was about a woman who took her son, her autistic son, into a bathroom because it was the only small, uncluttered, and close to the potty room in the house. She took him into that bathroom every day for several years, and she would copy his unusual behaviors until eventually he copied her back. So I went on a search, and I located the foundation that was created by these same parents. I mean, their son is a CEO at this point. This is exciting stuff. So I go there and I train to become a facilitator. The Sunrise program approach to play therapy, what a lot of fun. Oh my God, it is so much fun. I spent hours in a playroom. I mean, now we use a playroom, not a potty room. But, I'd be there and I'd be imitating the kids and copying their behaviors. Now, autistic kids, very often, especially the low-functioning kids, they don't have any mirror neurons, or if they do, they only have a couple. So the idea here is to copy what they're doing, copy their unusual behavior. You see, there's more to this, though. I also don't want to do anything too thrilling until they look at me, because I want to get them interested in looking in my eyes, and I want them to know that that's where the power is in people, and you can make things happen when you look in people's eyes. So I want to do exactly what they're doing and not do anything too thrilling until they look. Oh, and there's one more thing. Not only do I not want to do anything too thrilling until they look, but I don't want to interrupt their behavior. So there I am, I'm waiting and copying and waiting and copying. Now this could take hours. It's okay, I'll give you the time-lapse version. Waiting and copying until he looks, and then boing, 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 your eyes make me jump and boing, I do something surprising and exciting and fun to look at. Because autistic people very often prefer toys to people. So I want to be the toy and teach him that he can turn me on or turn me off simply with his eyes. I mean, if you've ever watched an autistic kid hyper-focus you out of the picture, kind of like how I hyper-focused you out when I was dancing. If you've ever watched an autistic child hyper-focus you out and drop their glasses onto a block 1,113 times, and then 1,113 more. Or stare at the water running between two straws for hours and hours and hours. Or rip off her shirt and throw herself to the floor. Then you'd know how lacking in vision and awareness and understanding this icy idea was. Autism isn't just some shy kid on a timeout chair. He's a beautiful soul, operating to the best of his or her ability, with a disrupted sensory system, probably a leaky gut, and definitely a broken brain. I've just noticed that neurofeedback works more often and is a lot better, quicker, and more consistent. And I've also been watching your foot go up and down and up and down and up and down. And you know what that means? You could use some neurofeedback. You know what's good about neurofeedback? It changes your mood, just like Starbucks. So yeah, I raised 8 kids, and yeah, it's true. I adopted some. 6 to be exact. But that doesn't mean they're not mine. They're still mine. They're just blonde. And it did make me rich, because I'm the one that got to raise steamer trunks full of treasures. And actually, when I tell people, not only did I adopt a ton of kids, I adopted a bunch of crazy ones. They're like, "Are you nuts?" And I'm like, well, yeah, that was kind of the point. I was searching for balance. And yeah, I'm nuts. I'm looking to adopt. I'm thinking, okay, I have 2 kids, let's get 2 boys, right? We'll get 2 girls, 2 boys, bookends for balance. It's going to be great. So I'm not going to get into all the details of how this happened, but we ended up having these 2 boys that weren't actually adopted yet. We had to foster them waiting for adoption. And unfortunately, they got stolen back by their parents who actually didn't want them. The dad got out of jail. It was all really messy, you know, the stories you hear about all the time. I got a phone call. Somebody recognized them from my flyers that I had set out. And I hear this lady on the other end. She goes, "Hi, we found your kids. Oh, and by the way, there's 3 now." Yeah, 2 are sort of autistic. We're not sure about the 3rd. And all I could think of was, autistic, schmautistic. I just want my boys back. While I was looking for the kids during that year, I got a call from social services, and they're like, "Can you please take this child?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you know, I told you, I don't really take kids that go back and forth. I want to keep them. And I really can't do that." And she goes, "Well, the thing is that nobody else will take him, and he's blind, he's deaf, he's uneducatably retarded. We can't leave him with his mom. We think she's had him in a closet for 2 years." And I'm like, "No, a closet, you say? An institution, really? My, what a cute name." So on the day Dar moved in, he ran around the house at about 100 miles a minute, growling like the Tasmanian devil, and all I could think of is, thank God he's blind, otherwise he'd bump into all that furniture. I spotted it. I spotted what the authorities had missed, what the professionals had missed. I spotted autism. I finally thought, well, I need some girls, you know, because then if I have girls, I'll have 4 girls, 4 boys, and that would be balanced. So I'm open to more kids, you know, especially after my husband left and the workload lightened up. So my daughters start to advertise, "My mom will keep you, come here, you want to live here, she's cool." And all our little teenage runaway friends, you know, they're all running around me. I start to feel like the Pied Pipers for teenage runaways. You know, I'm like, balanced, unbalanced, balanced, unbalanced, balanced. And finally I'm like, stop! You 2, the ones whose parents don't want you can stay. The rest, home. And finally, we were balanced.